If you've been a part of the Stardust Crusaders for a while, you're likely no stranger to Japan's forbidden search topics. If you're new, well, there is a whole genre of Japanese internet dedicated to web pages and pieces of media online that no one should ever search under any circumstances. There are a lot of these forbidden search topics, and I've covered many of them over the years. In today's video, we'll be exploring the most infamous of these, the greatest hits of the forbidden Japanese internet, if you will. This webpage has been up for at least 2 decades and has been solidified in infamy for its bizarre message and background. The webpage name Love Fairy Pingin is considered something you should never search in Japan, and some people do so as a test of courage, in the same sense as visiting a haunted house. It's got all these cute little animal things and colorful text, but makes you feel a little uneasy. Maybe it's the photo of the woman or just the site's overall motif. Welcome. It's no coincidence that you ended up here. You have been guided here by the Love Fairy Pingin, using the vibrations of our heart. These vibrations seek true love and happiness. Feel love spark within you. Upon entering the site back in the day, you could hear music as well as a woman's voice welcoming you. The woman's name is Mimiko Hime. Yeah, that kanji combo is a little confusing. Anyways, Mimiko Hime is here to tell you about these magical beings called Pingin. They are love fairies that form when 2 hearts become one. And according to Mimiko Hime, they are very real. And the visitor is an angel sent directly to her webpage, and you have to tune into your own heart in order to be truly happy and enlightened. The site shares stories and illustrations of these Pingin characters and even sells them. The blue one is said to help you awaken your talents, and the green one is to keep you in good health. You can see Mimiko Hime herself wearing one in the homepage photo. With all of that said, it all seems pretty harmless, right? And yet, it still to this day remains an infamous topic you're never supposed to search. Among the most infamous, actually. For decades, many have felt something is just off about the site, especially when it came to the audio that played on it. This site especially caught the attention of 2chan users, who advised others to mute their audio before visiting the site. Some made claims that the audio could manipulate or brainwash you to believe in Mimiko Hime's beliefs. Mimiko Hime herself began being referred to online as a denpa. While this term directly means electric frequencies or radio frequencies, in this context, it's a slang term for people who are extremely delusional. A denpa essentially is somebody who lives inside a fantasy world they created and wholeheartedly believes that their fantasies and characters within those fantasies are real. Sometimes to a dangerous extent. Needless to say, there are many denpa associated with the do not search term. Love Fairy Pingin blew up in popularity due to its online notoriety, getting 1 million views each year when it was still a fairly new webpage. And for a personal webpage in 2004 in Japan, 1 million visitors a year was a lot. Each visitor tried to decipher the intentions of this webpage and find any deeper meaning behind it all. The Love Fairy Pingin webpage is still up and running to this day, though if you look at the site now, it's changed quite a bit. Mimiko Hime actually agreed to an interview quite recently and explained the change was due to the 2nd generation of Mimiko Hime taking over. That 2nd generation Mimiko Hime being her granddaughter. This interview demystified a lot of aspects of this webpage. It was eventually discovered that these love fairy characters are actually part of a bedtime story that Mimiko Hime told her sons when they were small children. The OG Mimiko Hime today is active on Twitter. She's published multiple books on these love fairy characters and is actually pretty amused by the whole forbidden search topic thing being associated with her webpage. Honestly, it's fascinating what is considered creepy to people in Japan. Did you find this site unsettling at any point? When I do research, I often fear viruses. My lost media enthusiasts out there are likely familiar with the Internet Archive, a site that was not hacked once, but twice this past month, leaving 31 million users affected. You are more vulnerable than ever in today's digital landscape. I feel secure because I use Aura, today's sponsor. Aura monitors your personal data, including your social security number, across billions of data points like the dark web and public court records to alert you about potential identity theft. They also provide up to $5 million in identity theft insurance in case the worst does happen. And it doesn't stop there, friends. Aura offers a variety of other features to keep you safe in that big scary back alley we call the internet, including real-time alerts for data breaches, a VPN for secure browsing, and a password manager to help you create and store strong passwords. Don't leave yourself exposed to these online threats. There's no way I am. Check out aura.com/Sakura Stardust to try 2 weeks for free. This is enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal data is exposed. This is the 4th studio album by the popular Japanese rock duo Beezies, a release that is believed to be cursed. This is due to an observance that occurred back in 1993, 3 years after the album's official release. The owner of this specific CD witnessed what they describe as paranormal activity every time they would try and play the CD itself. Stuff like volume fluctuating on its own, the number of tracks, and even what's actually playing on the CD changing as well. Not even being Beezy's music to begin with. What actually plays isn't often conventional music at all. Instead, it sounds like people howling in pain. Sometimes there will be seconds of silence before these sounds of discomfort even begin playing. Many of you may be thinking that this is something that could likely be faked for views, but remember that the CD was observed doing these things back in 1993. When you Google this topic, the results you end up seeing are blogs detailing the incidents as well as live television footage of the CD being played in real time in front of an audience.
これから出てくるんです。ちょっとね、ボリュームが小さいんですよ。
もうこのコーナーやめようよ。何これ。おいおい、これをあげるってうちらに。いや、怖い。
The clip stuck with many for years, and it was a topic of discussion for many online later on. Many recall being scared by the CD and the unexplained phenomena that occurred when playing it. It was kind of a weird urban legend until the footage itself began surfacing online. I've even seen a number of people witnessing it for the first time online as well who were pretty freaked out by it. While no explanation was given officially, aside from the CD itself being cursed or haunted, people have formed theories over the years. So, that strange groaning noise? It's actually from a 1990 experimental noise track by Keiji Haino. This artist has been active since the 1970s and is known to produce music in a wide range of styles. It's been speculated that the strange noises were a result of a print error on that specific copy of Risky. Haino and Beezies are not under the same record label though, so this kind of printing error is especially unusual. That also doesn't explain the fluctuating volume and track listings. Bizarre haunted tracks on CDs have actually been a hot topic in Japan multiple times. For example, a track from a Hiromi Iwasaki CD has distorted and unsettling vocals present in the background. This started an urban legend claiming the voice was that of a ghost, though it's been said to just be audio that was not properly mixed down and processed. This is just one of many examples. The This is an anti-drug PSA that aired within Ishikawa Prefecture in 1987.
殺される。
覚醒剤による妄想、幻覚。人間やめますか？覚醒剤やめますか？
While there are many disturbing PSAs to air throughout Japan's history, this one is known for its unsettling audio that accompanies its visuals. It's very brief, but impactful nonetheless. There is no background music, no sound effects, just the screaming of a distressed woman, a pause, and narration that follows it. The first visual is of a woman with blue skin and yellow eyes. The pose seems to be inspired by The Scream, a painting by Edward Munch. The woman screaming states that she's about to be destroyed. The next scene is a man falling from a large syringe into barbed wire. The narration then asks the viewer, do you want to stop being a human? Or do you want to quit methamphetamine? Overall, a very short and direct anti-drug PSA. Many in Japan recall seeing this PSA on TV as children, abruptly cutting to the screaming with no warning whatsoever following the previous ad, which of course left a lasting impact. Some may see the ad as being more disturbing than it actually was due to their memories of experiencing it as a child, which adds to its status as a forbidden search topic. Some still find this ad quite unsettling nonetheless. The "Do you want to stop being human" line is from a campaign that began back in 1983, intending to be as impactful as 1982's Kitchen Mother PSA, another forbidden search topic within Japan.
最近、覚醒剤は家庭の一本の覚醒剤。それがあなた自身を廃人にしてしまうばかりか、あなたの家庭をも破壊します。
The scare tactic as well as the phrasing in the ad itself have been criticized while the ads were still airing. Mershen Village is an amusement park in Takeo City of Saga Prefecture. If you look at photos of the park itself, it seems like the typical small amusement park you would see in rural Japan. When you Google the name of the park, these are not the results you will get though. So, what's going on here? One day, the social media account for Mershen Village just kind of became this, placing it on the radar of many concerned internet users. Many had no idea what to make of it, not even knowing if the park was still open or even existed at all. Some assumed it was someone impersonating the park's official account, or that the park simply just went out of business. But looking into the account itself enough shows you that it was normal at one point in time. One day, though, it just wasn't. Some of the most jarring posts feature the disfigurement of the park's mascot. His name is Doon. There's also a trend of repetitive text. Sometimes in the post itself, other times in photos. Such as this example of riding all over a Donkey Kong Country 2 cart. This one says, "It hasn't collapsed," over and over again. In this context, it translates best to, "It hasn't gone under," which is likely in response to someone assuming the park itself closed or went under, hence these constant bizarre tweets. The repeated words are even observed in the account name itself. Sometimes there's just no text at all. Just these images taken at night or in strange locations. As far as a legitimate explanation, Martian Village's creepy posts especially ramped up leading up to Golden Week one year, which is a holiday period that sees a lot of travel. The park's popularity has only grown since these posts started occurring, with many horror and occult enthusiasts in Japan wanting to visit the park now. The unsettling posts still occur, and no official explanation was ever provided. This Nico Nico Doga upload is only 47 seconds long, but that's really all it takes to leave you confused and concerned.
19キロのカービィへ。君がこれを見てるっていうことは、本当に69キロなのかもね。ランニングして頑張ったもんね。脂肪はどこ行っちゃったのかな。可愛いんだろうね。きっと。69キロになった景色は、頑張って彼女を幸せにしてあげてね。
The message in the video is simple enough, as the man is discussing their weight loss goals. Originally being 89 kilograms or around 196 pounds. The man is speaking to themselves in a year from now, saying they hope they'll be around 69 kilograms or somewhere around 150 pounds by then. Seems like they're just affirmating their personal health goals. But that doesn't explain what the heck's going on with his face, as it gets more and more disfigured as the video goes on. You can't even make his face out by the end of the video. While the quality of the video itself is admittedly not great, the most distortion definitely comes from the man's face. So it's not an issue of the video quality itself. The face is directly becoming more disfigured. The current NND upload, while having been up since 2011, is actually a re-upload. So who this original uploader themselves is truly a mystery now. Judging by the previous comments left online, this video was lost or difficult to find for a short period around 2015. It's possible that this was the time the original upload was deleted. The re-uploads account itself hasn't been active since 2014, and it's simply a guest account with no specific information provided. A wide variety of content can be found on the profile itself, though. Also, does anyone happen to know what anime this is? That dance animation is smooth. What I can personally infer is that this account re-uploads popular videos, or at least it used to. So it can also be inferred that the original You in 1 Year video was relatively unknown until it went viral in 2011. This is just based on when a lot of the comments and discussion had occurred, as well as when it was re-uploaded by others. So why does the video do this? Is the distortion on the face intentional? Many believe it was, based simply on the quality of the footage not being consistent. Though if the original uploader decided to delete the video when it started getting a lot of attention, then perhaps it wasn't intentional. Some believe the glitch to have occurred when the video was uploaded to NND. This was actually a pretty common occurrence, as NND was known to have many glitches back in its formative years. The most famous of these glitches are also do not search topics, known as the 7 wonders of NND, though there are way more than just 7. Some have tried proving the NND glitch theory with info present within that original upload, but since that OG upload is long gone, and NND videos just cannot be archived, it's a whole thing, I go into it here, this unusual mystery may never be solved. Many of you have likely already heard of the Minky Momo urban legend, the one where natural disasters occur every time the finale airs on television in Japan. But did you know there's a similar one related to an airing of the long-running anime Doraemon? This is a famous urban legend that's been circulating since the 90s. To begin, Doraemon was written by 2 people, Hiroshi Fujimoto and Moto Abiko. Together, this duo formed the famous Fujiko Fujio pen name from 1953 until 1987, but had been creating manga together as early as elementary school. The pair had a number of successful releases throughout the 50s and 60s, even founding an animation studio that worked on an episode of Astro Boy. This episode is lost now, by the way. Fujiko Fujio truly became a household name with Doraemon. From here, it remained popular for decades to come. Fujimoto passed away in 1996 at age 62. On the exact date of Fujimoto's passing, September 23rd of 1996, an episode of Doraemon was airing on TV Asahi. One that many will never forget. This was a surprise airing of Doraemon, one that was unannounced and never re-aired after this night. There are an abundance of eyewitness accounts of this episode. While details vary, this is what most witnesses had to say about it. The episode began airing at midnight on the night of September 23rd, 1996. This was far from the typical time slot for Doraemon. This episode had no title card. The typical opening was not displayed either. Just a cold opening into the episode's contents. That being a shot of Nobita, the series protagonist, walking down a street. Some say this was the typical neighborhood street shown in the anime. Some say it was an unfamiliar city street. Either way, the shot took place at night. It was dark out, just as it was outside in real life. The scene captures Nobita walking from behind, just showing the back of his head as he walks. This scene continues for at least 10 minutes. Just Nobita walking down a street. But suddenly, Nobita stops. He slowly turns around to look directly at the viewer. With a bittersweet smile, he finally speaks. "Ikanakia," he says. "I have to go." With that, the episode abruptly ends. Most who witnessed this episode agree on one thing. The voice of Nobita was not that of the official voice actor. It sounded like a much older man. The biggest Doraemon fans among the eyewitness accounts say that this voice belonged to none other than Hiroshi Fujimoto. A short time later, Fujimoto's passing was officially announced to the public. There are a few theories regarding this episode. Some speculate that it was recorded in advance, as a way to pay tribute to Fujimoto. Others feel the timing and subject matter does not fit this, and that it was a paranormal hijacking of the station. A way for Fujimoto to say goodbye. A large number of people recalled this episode, like a surprisingly large number. TV listings, newspapers, and public records were looked into in response to this, but no proof of this paranormal Doraemon episode has ever been found. Nonetheless, it remains a long-standing forbidden search topic. This search term refers to the abandoned office of Aaland or Smile Land. Searching this name on Google will bring up a decaying building with smiling faces on it. That in itself is unpleasant to look at, but it doesn't end there. Despite the building being run down and unkept, the company's webpage is still up and accessible. From what I can gather, it's been up since 1995, and probably hasn't changed a whole lot since then. It's simple, but unsettling nonetheless. When continuing to look at the company's webpage, a few unusual statements are found. There's information of the site's creator, named Hasashi-chan, as well as what Aaland is. It also lists the person's marriage history or lack of for some reason. Hisashi-chan claims to want to brighten the world with Aaland character products, promising rare and cute characters. As for the characters in question, I'm assuming they're these guys right here. There is a character introduction page on the site map, but it's no longer up. There are also links to stores where merch can be purchased, but these links also don't lead to anything anymore. It lists stores in Ginza and Shibuya, but then clarifies that these are just separate online stores, and that there are no actual physical stores. There is also a store instructions page that is pretty outdated, saying it only accepts bank transfers and not credit cards, and that the site does not support browsing on phones. Pretty odd for a site that's still up and running in 2024. But then we come to these tabs, instructing visitors on how to change the world with inventions and prayer, as well as change the world with foretelling prophecies and by becoming a king. These pages are still up and running. The prayer section even has a virtual church with fictional characters that serve as the gods there. These character names are also on the banner image of the webpage, and even on the house itself. The prophecy and king section is where the tonal shift is quite extreme, and the site owner makes some pretty intense statements and predictions. Now would probably be a good time to mention that Hasashi-chan is also considered among the infamous denpa of the Japanese internet. The building itself, located near Lake Kawaguchi in Yamanashi, has become a tourist spot in itself, and it's often visited and photographed. In some of these photos, you can see some paintings are more fresh in appearance, suggesting that the building is still occupied, to an extent. This is the name of a YouTube video. When searching for this name, in Japanese of course, on YouTube or NND, you get this. The visuals themselves are easily identified, taken from the movie Metropolis, the 1927 silent film, not the Osamu Tezuka adaptation. What's particularly shown is this famous dance scene, only sped up to look more uncanny, though the original scene was intended to be quite uncanny as well. Also, side note, it appears the Japanese internet refers to this character as VIP Sensei or Veep Sensei. The meme itself has Veep Sensei dancing to an English fan parody of the Forest Maze song from Super Mario RPG. And this in itself was a huge meme from 2007 to 2010. The Japanese internet, everyone. Back to the cursed forbidden upload though. It leaves a lot of questions unanswered, and the voice is synthetic and jarring. With all of that said, and taking into account the title itself, this video is supposed to be replicating a dream this poster had. Probably. Though this uploader has apparently uploaded various edits with footage from Metropolis. The last video was uploaded about 14 years ago though. Hello everyone, and welcome to the end of the video. I usually have something clever or silly or probably pretty cringe to say at this point in time, but I can't think of anything this time around. This month has been a little crazy. I have to get surgery soon and I'm just a bit of a mess, but either way, I'm gonna deliver these Patreon shoutouts, and I hope you guys like the video. Anyways, huge thank you to Rain Summer, Kyle Hockenberry, Lost Library Book, Khalees Strange, Spencer Lynn, Nomber, Josh Spears, Gio Woe, Aiden Sexton, J-Man, Keith Bailey, The First Bacon, David Lawrence, Erlyn Knifelot, Sky, Gabriel, Connor McLaughlin, Jordan May, Shelfie, Lunatic31, Cass, Milo is tired, I feel it, Stephen Bride, Riley Cummings, Creepy Leanie, Bill Baker, Gina Britton, Luke Brown, Pigpen, Layla Bloom, Kinsvar, Jose Santana, Lizard Queen 27, Newt Fruit Chew, Henry Costanza, Echo Costa, Questra Ottle, Angry Oyas, Angry Oyasu, Hexmania Kana, Chitoge, Daniel Tellez, Mars, Nova Snow, Jeremiah BLR, Dakota May, Mothic Permanence, 322, Thiren Skymere, Chumpkins, Armando Duran, Rora Morasso, or Rora Morasso, I always feel like I gotta have that soft R there, Lena SD98, Berserker Kong 02, Ellie L, Nikki, I gotta switch gears with pronunciation sometime, Para, Meek, Mercedes Slaughter, Beebles32, Sidnep, Hosea DeRoca, Life on Mars, Greedy Gut 78, Lilia Grasso, Metal Mario 64, Courtney Von Schriltz, Nicole Turkowski, Alice Rose, Akali, Anna, Sophia Gillespie, Megan Nicole, Vonnie, Judy 18, Red Hoodie 50, Felix Gonzalez, Alan Achondo, Momo Buns, Michiru Oji, Angel Pena, Iggs, Ilio, Steamy Fart Girl, Andrew Valencia, Eels, Jolliser Plays, Eastman Manor, Lauren Marcello, Merlin Caliber, C Chameleon, Gene 187, Digital Dubs, Joe Matt Vivo, Coffee Red Fox, Shivam Vashi, Pan Fried Life Jacket Awareness, Nicholas Allen, Stagio VGM, Adam Mitchell, Joka, Anegra J. Reese, Argua Bill, Leon X8, Teofil Zeta, Christopher Valencia, Bunny Hood, Justin Fuda, PP Pass Katag, Quetzalcoatl IFC, Quetzalcoatl FC, Andrew LaPena, Matt's House, Earfire, Grand Tactician, Kevin, Jojo, Orlon the Dog, Soko, Jordy Kirk, and Bishonen Knife. Once again, thank you so much, everyone, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.